Bonjour, everybody. Um, how's everybody doing today? It's Super Bowl Sunday. I know I was saying that I was gonna make a video sooner, but life's just been super busy. Been contacting the state victims board to see if I could get any compensation. Um, all state disability. It's a whole process. Don't ever get in a car wreck. Don't ever get hurt. It's not fun. But anyways, since it's Super Bowl Sunday, let's talk sports. Um, just gonna talk about sports and my feelings about sports. Uh, I've always been a big sports fan. I wish I would have been more athletic growing up. My mom was a single mom, so she didn't really have the time or the money to put me in sports that much. She did do her best though. I was in baseball a couple years. I was in baseball like 3 years or 4 years growing up, um, and then I just never followed through with it. I should have. I was in football 1 year. I never did basketball or anything else. I just baseball and football. I wish I would have done like soccer or basketball or NJB is what it's called. Um, but I just never did. I feel like if I would have done like some sort of sports, I would have probably stayed with it. I probably would have been decent enough to maybe get a scholarship at least for college. If not, you know, at least I would have had something fun outside of school. I think that was a big reason why I felt like an outcast in school. I moved around a lot. This is gonna be another video. I'll go into depth more about like my life story or whatnot. Moved around a lot. Didn't really have friends. Never really had like a stable place to say like, hey, this is where I'm from. I just said, hey, I'm from everywhere. I moved around a lot growing up. And then, like I said, I never really did too much sports. Um, all the fond memories I have of sports is when we lived in Fontana, which is down in SoCal. I know I did a year in sports up here in the Central California area, but it just wasn't the same. I feel like baseball's taken a lot more. I don't know. It just feels like baseball down south is just a lot more part of the culture. I'm not saying it's not part of the culture up here, but when you think of baseball, you associate it with like SoCal versus up here. It just the atmosphere always seemed pretty awesome growing up down there. I don't know. I just like that the atmosphere of SoCal. It always seemed like there was something always going on in SoCal, versus like up here. It gets a little boring. It's a forgotten part of the state for sure, And Fontana is not the sexiest part of SoCal. On top of that, so that's telling you a lot. Sports though, I used to be a big sports fan. I mean, my major four teams, because there's NBA, NFL, baseball, or MLB and NHL, baseball, hockey, basketball, football. I wanted to kind of I have like sports rules myself. I know people think it's funny. I feel like you got to be a fan of where you're from, the state that you're from. I mean, unless your state doesn't have a professional team, go ahead and pick I would say pick between the two closest teams. If you live in Montana, you're gonna have to pick between the Seahawks and the Broncos. Which one's gonna be my team? Or whatever's closer, Seahawks and Vikings, or Broncos and Vikings. You're gonna have to pick between those. Uh, but that's always been my rules. And then I always wanted to follow a team that was like homegrown or at least stayed in the West Coast, Western states. And then it just happens to be that like my baseball and my basketball teams have the same colors, which is pretty cool. Well, the baseball team changed their colors, but traditionally their colors incorporated the same colors that my basketball team does. And then basketball, they incorporate, my team that I like has black now in it, but traditionally their colors were red, white, and blue. And then my football and hockey teams have the same colors. So when it comes to football, when it comes to NFL, I'm a Raiders fan. Um, and they're silver and black. When it comes to hockey, NHL, I'm a Los Angeles Kings fan. They're silver and black too. When it comes to baseball, I'm a they're Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So I'm an Angels fan. And then when it comes to basketball, NBA, I'm a Los Angeles Clippers fan. So with that being said, Raiders, yes, they moved around from the Bay Area to LA to the Bay Area to Vegas. They're still in the West Coast. I think I would have felt a little bit different if they would have moved super far away. I actually think Sin City suits them well. I'm okay with that move. You know what I mean? It gives me a reason to go to Sin City now. You know, if they would have moved to any other city outside of California, I probably would have felt a certain way. But with that being said, they're in the Silver State, Silver and Black, Sin City, Bad Boys, which is the Raiders. I think it suits them very well that they went to Vegas. Like, just kind of the aura of like Vegas and Raiders and kind of, you know what I mean. It kind of it rolls off the tongue with not as much pain. Don't get me wrong, Oakland Raiders. That's probably gonna always be, you know, who they truly are. You know, but Raiders, Raider Nation, Raiders, they could play in Fresno, bro. You know what I mean? They'd have just as much fans. In fact, they probably have a lot more fans showing up because you got all the SoCal fans, you got all the Bay Area fans. Raider Nation's big, and like I know all these new teams have like cliches, and we've been called Raider Nation since like the '70s, if not the '60s, from Al Davis. This Niner Empire, and I forgot what there's another Chiefs Kingdom. Those are all new, bro. I think I don't think those are more than 20 years old. Those sayings, bro. Those slogans were made up within the last 20 years. Raider Nation's been around since like the 80s, 70s, 60s. They've been saying that. Uh, and they travel well, bro. There's Raider fans everywhere, bro. You know, I know people feel a certain way because they moved around so much and they haven't been, you know, they haven't had super good teams, you know. Uh, but that's always gonna be my team, bro. Like win, lose, tie, whatever the case may be, man. Raiders, and I feel like we get a bad rap. Yeah, we do got a lot of knuckleheads that are Raider fans, but I think we got a lot of. You'll be surprised on who the type of people that are Raider fans. I mean, Tiger Woods, Tom Hanks, James Garner. There's some really stand up people that grew up watching the Raiders too. Not just a bunch of thugs and criminals, man. And if anything, there's a lot of gang allegiance and negative fans that are Niner fans and that are Cowboy fans. Lot of gang activity associated with those two fan bases. I'll tell you that much. When it comes to our biggest rival, the Chiefs, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of corny, bro. That team. But I can't hate them, bro. I mean, they got a good team. They got a good quarterback. Solid play calling. And they'll be good for a long time. Never really been a fan of the Patriots. I mean, if there's like rivals, I would say it's like Patriots, Steelers, and I just never really liked the fans, like Cowboy fans and 49er fans. I feel like those two fan bases, man. More so 49er fans. Cowboy fans just think that they should be good all the time because they're America's team, and you know, they're not really as obnoxious. Now, when it comes to like 49er fans, man, some of them are cool. I have some 49er fans that show love, and then on the other end, bro, you got a bunch of just 49er fans that are just I don't know, man, always hating on the Raiders for some reason. I don't know why. You know, when it comes to like Kings, when it comes to hockey, I just always like that team. They were homegrown in at Los Angeles. They're from California. The Ducks were cool. The Sharks were cool. But just Kings just sit well, and they have that Raider color. And then going back to football, I forgot to say, the reason I've always been a Raider fan is I just like that style, man. I like that mystique about them. 49ers, Chargers, Rams, they don't hit the same, bro. For sure, 49ers, I don't think I could ever be a 49er fan. I don't think there was any way I could have ever chose that route, you know. Same with Chargers. I mean, Chargers, they got that powder blue that looks a little sexy, I won't lie. But, I mean, I don't know. Just never really wanted to. If I had to pick another Cali team, if I was gonna root for like another team outside of the Raiders, I probably would have rocked Rams, bro. You know what I mean? Even though they moved around a lot, I probably would have went with Rams. But I mean, at the end of the day, Raiders always be the team I support and sport. When it comes to baseball, I just Angels, man. I never really got too interested in the whole Giants Dodgers rivalry, man. That's not as neither one of those teams really intrigued me. Like, ooh, I'm a Dodgers fan, or I'm a Giants fan. Supporting those teams never intrigued me much. Um, and the other baseball teams though, I think I would have been a baseball fan of any other California team other than the Giants or Dodgers. I just never really cared to be a part of that rivalry. I think that's a played out rivalry. They're two New York teams, bro. They're not even Cali teams, homegrown. A's are cool. Never really, had anything against the A's. I've been to an A's game. Their games are pretty awesome. I mean, if I had to pick any other team in Cali that I probably would have supported was Padres, bro, just because of the Mexican heritage that they show in their team. Love their colors, bro. That brown and gold. I know like people are like, "Ugh, that's a nasty combo." For me, I think that combo is actually a pretty cool combo. I think, and that pinstripes, like the light brown background with the dark brown pinstripes with the like yellow edging on the lettering. I think that's a sexy combo, bro. But I've always been an Angels fan, bro. They're homegrown. They're a homegrown California team. I think I liked it because they were called the California Angels, so they rep like the whole state, man. They didn't just say I'm the San Francisco or Los Angeles Angels up until recently with the whole Art Moreno trying to tap in to the Los Angeles market. I mean, I think he shouldn't have been too worried about trying to get fans from the Dodgers faithful, because I don't think you're ever going to steal fans away from LA. They're always going to be Dodger fans, bro. I think he should have stuck with the California Angels way, or it was the Disney that really changed it to Anaheim Angels. They should have just went with stuck with California Angels, bro. It just sounded it rolled off the tongue sexier, bro. And their original colors included blue. The old jerseys, you see like the old batting jerseys, it was like blue, red, and white. Then they had a little bit of gray in there. So, like I said, my team colors correlate, but they got rid of the blue and just went with gray, white, and red. I think they should go back to like the blue, go more with like the blue, white, red, and gray. I think their colors would be pretty sexy. It'll almost be like Giants colors. And then my basketball team's Clippers, man. Don't get me wrong. I think in basketball, unlike like football, I think you could like watch other teams and kind of root for other teams. I don't think there's as much of a rivalry other than maybe like Lakers and Celtics. I don't think there's as much of a rivalry factor there in basketball. I used to like following players more in basketball too. But my team's always been the Clippers, man. I've been watching them since it was like the old school Quentin Richardson, Lamar Odom, Alton Brand. But what was the other guy before him? I don't know why I'm going blank, man. I just really like watching Quentin Richardson, man. Darius Miles, man. That group of guys were fun to watch. I mean, I would root for like Lakers when they would go to the playoffs, and for a while I was like a big Kobe fan, so I kind of rocked Lakers a little bit. And then with the Golden State Warriors, they're a fun team to watch, man. And just seeing Steph Curry and him play, I always liked his style of play. And then the Kings were pretty damn good, man. That one year in 2002, they should have been the team that went to the finals, man. It was an inside job though. They wanted the Lakers to get that three-peat. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to basketball, I mean, I had to watch all the teams, man. But like Clippers are my team, and they're red, white, and blue, just same colors. So it kind of worked out pretty good, I like my teams. Let me know what your guys' favorite teams are. Anybody specifically, if you're from Cali, what teams you support. Take care. Peace out.